what did you do before you made the jump and like decided I'm gonna do what I love to do?
Actually, ever since high school, I've been wanting to do fashion design. But my parents are very Russian and they're both mathematicians, so they actually convinced me to go to business school at McGill. And then since then, I've tried to be into fashion as much as I could, and I actually ended up being events editor for a fashion magazine. I am still doing that. I've had some like office jobs, I would say desk jobs, I'll put that. 9 to 5s, that kind of thing. And honestly, this is just so much more of my passion. And the last couple of months, I was lucky enough to have a break in the different contracts I was having. And so I decided to just take that as a kind of meant to be moment and really go for it.
So at what could you see yourself now not being a designer now that you've kind of made that switch?
I've been a designer, I think, in my heart my entire life, ever since I was little, and I would just take blankets and wrap them around myself, put a sash on it, and call it a dress. Like, I knew that I would always be involved in fashion in whichever form, and I can't imagine doing anything else. I love being involved in different projects, and I'm sure I'll always have many different things going on in my life outside of fashion, but this is my love. I was looking to borrow beautiful clothes from wonderful designers I know in Toronto, and it occurred to me that when people will ask me who am I wearing, it'd be so fun to say me. And I've always been into fashion. I had a different line when I was living in Montreal, and with this case, I ended up locking myself in my apartment for a couple of weeks for a Project Runway moment. And I came out of it with 5 sample pieces, one to wear every day of the week. Did a photo shoot, put up a website, and since then I've had people ask me for the dresses, and I've been developing new pieces as well. I have some clutches that I'm in the process of creating right now. There's some sample pieces available, but they're actually made out of wood. And they come in black or white, and the cool story behind that is my grandfather was actually an amazing carpenter back in Russia, and I noticed that here he has a lot of time on his hands, and frankly he has nothing to do. So I decided to create some designs for him, and he's been working on that since.
That's incredible. So
a bit of a family business.
Were you woodworking before you became a designer? Like how? At what point did you ever take an interest in your grandfather's woodworking before design?
I just admired it. I remember in Siberia, he actually built our entire cottage from the ground up and actually carved the entire thing as well. So it was just a masterpiece.
And at what point did you connect the dots between? At what point did you connect the dots between fashion design, like, and I'm totally ignorant here, so you're gonna have to talk to me in layman's terms, but like the difference between fabric and wood, that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now. But
oh, there's a big difference. That's why I leave the wood to the experts. My grandfather, I know fabric, but he knows wood. I just wanted to have some sort of medium that is very hard and something for him to be able to carve out of. Obviously, plastic would be amazing, but in terms of manufacturing, that's a very different process. And the goal of this was actually not the fashion, but specifically to provide my grandfather with a project. And so it was just a beautiful combination of something that I love to do and something he does as well. It has become a bit of a bonding moment.
So I guess like most of the designers here, a lot of passion behind the project. I think the obvious is kind of, the answer is kind of obvious, but what drew you to this particular shoot and working with all these other designers?
I love the fact that it was so locally based. Being in the fashion industry for a while, I just meet so many amazing designers and photographers and just everyone from Toronto, and there's so many talented people. So it's just such a wonderful idea to be able to showcase all of them together in one place. And honestly, a little detail that I found interesting is that instead of models, they ended up using musicians. My other love of my life is music, and I just respect musicians so much, and I thought it was a great idea to incorporate the different types of art and mediums into the same project.
Okay, I need to ask you one more question. I need you to complete the sentence for me. For me, living beautiful means... So I need you to start a sentence that starts with, for me, living beautiful means, and then just take it wherever you want to take it.
For me, living beautiful means being excited to wake up every morning. Really living life to the fullest. I honestly believe in carpe diem. It sounds corny, but live every day as if it was your last, and then your life will be beautiful and you will live beautiful.